Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. Hey guys, so today Jen's back at it interviewing Joe Figueras, a fan favorite. If you want to go back and listen to her other episodes, I think she was episode 2 and 19. So check those out if you haven't yet, if you're new to the show. If not, you guys remember Joe. She and I talk about what she sees coming in 2026 here for us universally by using numerology and astrology. What are the numbers and the planets saying for all of us for this year? We also get into some Akashic Records stuff. We talk a little alien business. We talk a little bit about AI. So just all kinds of really cool conversations. Just a fun talk between two friends. You guys are invited to hear all the things with me. So let me just remind you, if you're new to the show, Joe Figueras is a psychic medium, Akashic Records reader, advanced intuitive development mentor, and a silversmith with over a decade of experience guiding individuals through deep soul-level inquiry and integration. Her work supports those at pivotal phases of transformation who seek elevation, orientation, and a deeper understanding of their spiritual identity. This is what we've been talking about anyway, guys. She specializes in helping people level up where they're at intuitively, spiritually, all that good stuff. So let's jump in and talk all about everything she sees coming here for us in 2026. Guess who's back, you guys? Joe's back. Joe.
Yay.
Hey, girl. Thanks for coming back. I reached out to Joe because there's so much spiritually going on in 2026, you guys. And I don't have the knowledge to share it properly with you guys. So it's like, who will? Joe will.
Yay. Yeah.
So 2026, it's feeling a little still, but the actual Lunar New Year and stuff is close. We're getting there, you guys. It's getting close. It's like February 17th. Anyway, so I just wanted to start talking about all of the things going on and explain to all my listeners what this all even means. Do you want to start with the year one thing? We're saying the universe is in a year one.
Yeah.
Okay, because the universe has a 9-year cycle, right?
Yes.
And then we individually have a 9-year cycle.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
there's a difference. So tell us how we figure out, first of all, what universal year and what personal year it is for us.
Okay. So the universal year is you just take the year, right? It's 2026. So you add 2 plus 2 plus 6. That gets 10. And then you break it down to a single digit, which is a 1. So that's really literally the easiest.
Because it's like then 10 is 1 plus 0. You just
1
get
plus
down
0.
to the tiniest number.
Yep.
Okay.
A single digit, except with master numbers, but we're not going to get into those because
Yeah.
those can be confusing. So then for you personally to find out what personal year you're experiencing within the one universal year, you would add the month and the day of your birthday plus 1 because 2026 is a 1. So for instance, what's your birthday?
So I'm 3/8.
3/8. So you'd add 3 plus 8 plus 1, which is 12. And then 1 and 2 is 3. So you're in a personal year 3. So you're in a personal year of authentic self-expression, communication, really making sure that you are living your most authentic version of self. But it's happening within a 1 universal year. So 1 year supports new beginnings, forward movement, taking action, moving forward. So that is a really potent combination. And I'm just wondering what's going on with you. It feels like there is potentially a new direction doing something that really
No, girl,
sits
that
within
all
you.
makes sense because I'm feeling this fire horse magic too. Like it's a
Yes.
year. I'm going to get some shit done this year.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
That's my plan anyway. So it's a universal year one for everyone, you
For
guys.
everyone,
So we
yep.
all have huge potential right now.
Yeah.
Because what does a universal year one look like usually?
Well, it's a collective year of new beginnings is what's happening. And it's like a reset after the last 9-year cycle. So the last 9 years, they started out with a 1 year, a new beginning, and then they moved us through every other year or every year. They moved us through a new aspect of that. So last year was about change and transformation. Well, all you have to do is look to the external. It doesn't even have to be political. It can just be, environmental. Whatever it is, you're looking and you're seeing what's going on around around you and you're saying things are changing, things are about to change. And so here we are in a brand new 9-year cycle. So what's happening right now is things that had to change are now being brought up to be moved in a new direction. And then the 1 is the number of action, right? It's like the Aries energy, and it says it's time to take action. So you're seeing people being a lot more vocal and involved in the day-to-day circumstances of their life. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we're moving forward. It's
We're
a year
moving forward.
1. We've shed some things. We worked through some things like in our year 9. Now we're ready to make some changes.
Make some changes, take some action, move in new directions, foundations, building the things that we do in this year. Pay attention because it's going to be the foundation for the 9-year cycle ahead of us. This year, a 1 year, you sort of start saying, okay, what direction am I going in? Once you get to your 4 year, then you start physically building those foundations in your 4 year. And then the transformation and change that's necessary to move you into the next phase of your life or evolution takes place in a 9 year.
Okay. And then we're back at a 1 again.
And then we're back at a 1 and again. Yes. But collectively, it's a little bit different because this one is spiritual. This one is saying, all right, people, you're now being asked to direct and self-leadership. Intuitive self-leadership, personal self-leadership is a huge theme. So remember in 2023, we always look back at 2023 and I'm like, that's when the shit show started for me personally, but really for a lot of people, because it was a Libra Aries axis in astrology, and which means the North Node and South Node were active. But it was the beginning of one of the eclipses. I don't know if it was lunar or solar. It was actually like it was time for everyone to awaken. So it was like this mass awakening in like March of 2023. And so at that point, people started becoming a lot more intuitive, just really getting into all of the things. Now what's happening is it was a year and a half of that. Well, now it's like the universe says, okay, now that you're all intuitive, now that you all, have a little bit more experience with trusting your gut, listening to your gut, your internal body systems, that sort of thing, now it's time for you to self-lead. So we're seeing everywhere in the news, you're seeing leaders fall away. Fall away. You don't need leaders anymore. You need internalized self-leadership. So that's huge right now.
Because are you feeling like as a collective, because we talk about we're raising up into 5D, things are changing, right? Literally, the vibrations are changing. Are you feeling that?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, because people make such a thing about 3D and 5D. All 5D is anytime you go to sleep or anytime you meditate, you're in 5D. So 5D, as always has been and always is around us. All that means is that more people have entered an era or an energetic frequency that allows them to go deeper. So again, it's a giant spiritual awakening.
Yeah, so it's a bigger awakening.
Yep,
the whole collective.
Yes, the whole collective is just operating at a higher frequency. That's it. That's all it is. It's energy. It's science.
Perfect. Tell me, do you know much about this?
The Schumann resonance. That's the Earth's vibrational frequency.
Because I see a lot of people throwing stuff out there about all the crazy things, energy that's thrown out.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think that is? That part of this, or
it is a part of it? It's the Earth is vibrating at a higher frequency, and I don't know a ton about the Schumann resonance. I know that my one of my very good friends, she knows a lot about it, so she's always saying, "Hey, this is what's going on." But I will tell you that there was a day last year, and it was in the fall. I can't remember. Maybe it was the beginning of the year. I don't remember. But where there was this spike, and it was planned, and it was happening at like 6 a.m. Right? So I got up, I set my alarm. And I tapped in and I did a meditation at that time. And it was literally the most profound, crazy, clear meditation I've ever done. So it's energy. I don't know a ton about it.
How was it planned? How did you know it was coming?
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to remember because this is just on the fly. But it's a lady, an intuitive, I guess, I don't know, who tracks and talks about the Schumann resonance. And so it was really a big deal, I guess. Like there was a lot once I Googled it and started looking at it. There was a lot about it. And it was meant to happen at a very specific time. It was like 6 a.m. And I was like, whoa, I had channels and downloads. It was crazy. It was the coolest thing ever.
Yes. Well, it makes sense that you would be able to connect at a deeper level during one of those kind of energetic surges, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's
And I never
amazing.
followed up to see like what was the result of it and what people were saying about it. Like I had such a profound experience. I was like, all right, well, that was cool.
Yeah. Do you know much about this year of the fire horse? How are we
So
feeling about
that's
the year of the
Chinese
fire horse?
astrology. I do not follow that, but I have been following it enough to know that it's happening. It's taking place on February, 17th or 20th?
17th. I think it's the 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a huge day anyway, right? There's a partial solar eclipse on it. I actually
That's the start of our
scheduled.
Lunar New Year, right? Like the
Yes.
Lunar Year starts fresh. Okay.
And I actually scheduled a class, a workshop that I have on intuitive self-leadership on that day, specifically because of the energies and the powers and all that stuff. But it follows the year of the snake, right? Which is about the shedding, and a 9-year is about the shedding. And then we're in a 1 year, and then it starts the 1 year, and it's Aries energy, and it's move forward, go forward. It's fire. It's horses don't, just hang out and be like, just chilling,
No, they
bro.
get work done.
They get work done.
Workforces.
They go.
Yeah,
they do.
we're heading in. And I saw somewhere that this only happens where they line up the fire and the horses like every 60 years.
Oh,
so it's
that's very cool.
So it's like a cool event. I mean, everything is really lining up perfectly. It feels like for 2026 to be a big year if you're following these energies, right? If you're going to do the things. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look at it from a larger perspective, sort of like how I look at tetralogy, right? Numerology is the what, or the astrology is the when. It's like a giant clock.
Yep.
And human design is the how. So right now the astrology is giving us the when. The astrology is saying it's time. So especially with these external planets, the outer planets being activated and moving. That's
what's going on with the planets, Joe? Break it down so that all of us can understand.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to make this as easy as possible. So there's just a lot of major transits, but they're activating themes. And these themes are all connected to our personal development, our empowerment, us being, the movers of evolution and expanding our consciousness. So Neptune going into Aries, that governs our vision, right? And Neptune is this is what I determine that Neptune is. And like, I'm not a professional astrologer. I know about astrology and I incorporate it, but for Neptune, it's all about, your spirituality, your connection, your ability to connect, right? In my teachings, it is. And that governs our intuition, our visions, our dreams, our imagination. And so Aries in a fire sign, it's a sign of initiative and identity. It's going to shift us spiritually to individual authenticity and personal ideals. And that's why this term keeps coming up in intuitive self-leadership. Right. So then we've got Saturn entering Aries as well. And that brings responsibility, structure, discipline. That's what Saturn does. But in Aries, basically, the overall message is, listen, you have been planning and doing and, you've been held back. And as soon as that hits that, it's time to go. It's go time. So now it's time to put your dreams and plans into action. And I myself personally am struggling because I'm so used to the universe giving me a sign, an opportunity, and guiding me, right? I get something and then I act on it. And I'm struggling because my guides tell me you have to act on it and then you'll get your signs. And I'm like, but that's not what I want, right?
That's not my use, guys. Like, no. Yeah. Okay.
We have Uranus entering Gemini. That's in late April. And Uranus shakes up our communication, ideas, technology, and all of that stuff. And so it's going to expand how we think. I think that the way that people think, it's kind of like what I'm getting is that the clouds or the curtains are going to part, the clouds are going to part. Okay. And people are going to realize that what they've been thinking has not, or been told, that sort of thing, isn't really the actual story. I don't know, for some reason though, intuitively what's coming through is there's something about AI. I don't hate AI like a lot of people do. They're like, it's awful for the environment and it's not great, but AI, there's just something about it that it's like a consciousness. It's weird and I like it. So
I've been seeing all kinds of videos of people using like AI like as a spiritual, for spiritual guidance and things coming through that are like, whoa, what did they just say?
Right. Yeah. I use it for clarity.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, you guys.
It's not going anywhere. It really is not.
We have to figure out how to coexist with it.
Yes.
And utilize it like as a benefit.
Yes. And also give it the opportunity, give the technology or the industry, the tech industry, the opportunity to address its concerns and then implement, practices that help support it. It's like the automotive industry, right? Like it had time to evolve. So let this evolve as well. But I understand the criticisms.
Yes.
Anyway, and then we have Jupiter that moves into Leo mid-year, which is it's because Jupiter is the planet of growth, luck, optimism, expansion.
So
Jupiter's about expansion.
We're talking June-ish here.
Yep, mid-year, June, July. I don't know the exact dates. I just know that it's mid-year because I didn't do my dates.
Okay, what can we look forward to? Let's give us something.
Because Jupiter's expansion, it's going to amplify our confidence and creativity. When it moves into Leo, Leo's planet is the sun. And so, it's like when you're standing in the sun. My personal year calendar, I put it on a card. It's on a thing on a wall so I can see it at glance.
Yeah.
But in my June and July, I've got the sun card, and then I've got the card of the Page of Pentacles. So it jives, it tracks.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So our creativity should really feel boosted around that time.
It should. Yeah. So when you take all of this into consideration, there are some themes that, and this is what people can write down and take note of. You're going to want to clarify your direction. Okay, clarify your direction, where you want to go. You're going to start with what matters to you. If you're doing things because that's where the money is, or you're doing things because that's how it's always been done, or that's what's expected of you, it's going to crash and burn. It's not going to work. You have to clarify your direction, and that starts with what matters to you. The number 3 is coming up, authentic self-expression. Mm-hmm. That's going to be supported. Your visualizations, the things that you're dreaming, you're going to want to ground them in some reality, right? I mean, for exercises and dreaming big and all that stuff, go big, go big, go big. But for this, let's start in this 1 year where your dreams are grounded in reality. And that's Saturn and Aries. Saturn says, listen, I want you to have your dreams, but you have to be realistic. Like you have to set your foundation, and that's what that is for.
Okay. So we're getting inspired this year, but now is not the time to just quit the job with no plan.
I mean,
right? I mean,
I'm not going to tell anybody not to do that, but I'm telling them that the astrology supports quitting your job with a plan.
With a plan. That's what I'm saying. We'll think it through a little bit, and then we will let that creativity flow and go for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then there's 2 more things. There's learn and adapt fast. Like it's time. That's where the self-leadership comes in. Learn and adapt. What works, what doesn't work, tweak it. Don't say, oh my God, I'm a failure. This isn't working. I'm not connected. I can't hear my guides. All of the things that we resort to when we don't know what the hell we're doing or where we're going. Mm-hmm. Learn, look at them, and adapt. Okay. But don't internalize that as you're doing it wrong or you suck or you're not worthy, because that's not going to be supported either.
Okay.
And then just the last one is that Jupiter in Leo. Remember, Leo is ruled by the sun. Jupiter in Leo encourages visibility, creativity, and leadership. So grow your confidence. Be confident in who you are. That, I think, is probably one of the most foundational ones, and why it happens, I think, in midsummer. Because first we have to get through all of the lessons of Saturn and Uranus. And what else do we got? Well, the fire horse and Pluto, which is continuing in Aquarius, and that's why all the power structures are breaking down, because of Jupiter or Pluto in Aquarius. So
okay, all right. So that's all leading up to this summertime gig. Yeah.
Yes. I know everybody's looking forward to that.
Yes, please. Okay,
Jupiter and Leo. Jupiter and Leo.
Yay! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In 2026, are there our making changes or what? Like, is there a timing that's going to work out best?
So
is that a thing?
Okay, so again, I don't know enough about astrology to be predictive about it, but what I do know enough about is your numerology. So you're going to want to look at your personal month schedule. Like, what are your personal months? Because in a personal month, a 1 month is a new beginning. In a 4 month, you're going to be setting some foundations. In a 5 month, there's going to be some freedom. In an 8 month, there might be themes of power. So your numerology.
Hold on.
Okay. Back it up a little bit.
Back it up, because how am I thinking? Wait a minute. So, numerology wise, because I know everybody listening is like, how do I figure all that out?
Right.
Okay. We talked about how to figure out what year we're in. Okay. Yep. Like I figured out I'm in a year 3. Okay. So, and you can go down this rabbit hole, you guys, and look up what each year means and all of the things. Okay. So how then do I take that? It's a universal year 1. I'm in year 3. Now we're going to break it into months. How are we breaking up the months? Because it's not like January's 1.
January is not, it could be 1 for some people. It just depends. It's all
like
personal.
It's not like our calendar, our Gregorian calendar. It's not like.
No, it's different.
Okay, so how do I know how to line my months up?
Yes. So I guess the easiest way would be to go online and just Google personal month calculator. They're out there. There's plenty of freebies out there. I'm going to recommend, however, that you book a reading with me because I will give you your personal year, how that interacts with your personal months. I'll give you your life path and how that is impacted, your goals, themes to look at, shadow, all of that stuff along with it's just my 2026 forecast. I don't promote them openly because they're a lot of work, but I do have them and they're wonderful. I have mine right here and I have that thing. I look at it every single day because it gives me so much info.
Kind of gives you a guide for the year.
It gives me a guide for the entire year of the month. I have my month. I have the word, like the theme, the one word that I have, the word of the month. I have my personal month number. Okay. And then I have the card number because I pull tarot, the energy, what that energy is also bringing to my personal months.
What kind of calendar are you following? Like, okay, I'm ending. I need to start again.
I do January 1st to December 31st. I use a calendar year. Some people use a revolving year. And it just depends. If people want a revolving year, then I can do that for them too.
We'll put the link there so you can do it. All right. So you said I can just Google it.
Well,
does it use my birthday? Like,
it's just based on your birthday. So let's do one live here. So I'm going to go to just a standard numerology calculator. Okay. All right. And then I put in your first name. And
is this one of those things you need to know what time you're born or not at all?
Nope. This is just your first name, middle name, last name, the date of birth, and then like if you have a married name or whatever. So I'm going to get your chart. There we go. All right. So you are a life path 4. Is that, you said you were 3, correct? Oh, no, you're in a personal year 3.
No, I'm in a personal year 3, but I'm a life path 4. That sounds right.
4. Okay. Yeah. So when I scroll down, it says that your personal month for February is a 5. So this is a month for you of freedom, going and doing and seeing and traveling and socializing, promotion, whatever it is, there's a freedom.
Are you saying that's right now?
That's right now in February, the month of February.
Oh, I feel like I don't want to leave the house right now with this weather.
I mean, maybe that's a lesson, right? And it's like, get out. March for you is a 6, and then it goes through 7, 8, 9, 1. So in July, you have a 1 personal month in July. So that's where the predictive energy comes in. And I have never had somebody say, Joe, you were wrong. Nothing happened in a 1 month. Everybody always texts me or emails me, and they're like, oh my God, you were right. And it's not me, it's the numerology, but...
So your 1 month is a big deal?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a new beginning. It's a brand new 9-month cycle. So there's something that you're starting, even if it's just a little thing. Like maybe you have a mindset journey that over the next 9 months, you need to switch up. It's just something, but it's a new beginning in some way. Usually they're pretty big, but, or impactful, I should say. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a lot lining up this summer is what I'm hearing for Jen.
I think so. I mean, in July, right? I mean,
July, right? Let's do it. July.
Yep. June, July.
Okay. So we're figuring out our months too.
Yep.
Lots of the numerology, right?
Numerology is so cool.
I will say, you guys, when I have had readings with Joe and anybody, it does really line up. It's amazing when you combine the astrology, numerology, and human design.
Yep. Within the Akashic Records, because then I'm exploring past lives, parallel lives.
And all of a sudden you're like, how does this chick know me this well? Right. How does she know? Because this is information, just so you know, you could stalk someone's socials and you can't stalk someone and pretend any of this.
Yeah.
No. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's a lot. That's me.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I love that that one reading, the tetralogy reading gives me, not me, but gives me the ability to translate and interpret so much for the person. It really is one of my favorite things to do.
There is a lot.
Is to help people.
Have you been diving into the Akashic Records for fun? Like, what are you feeling? What's coming through for you intuitively about
the world?
2026, where we're heading, the world.
Yeah.
Just in general, are you getting any cool downloads lately?
Yeah. And the thing is that I open the Akashic record of the Earth or the United States, randomly here and there when I'm like, like when I moved, it's like, should I move to, back to the Midwest? And honestly, it's always very uplifting and lovely and wonderful. And even though what's happening maybe in the world around us does not make some people happy, what the message that comes out of the Akashic records is that it has everything to do with evolution, duality, choice, free will. Do we accept our current circumstances, or do we push back, stand up, and stand in our sovereignty? And if you look at some of the astrology right now, you see that it correlates with major civil wars, upheavals throughout history. And the astrology is no joke. And, it is showing us what we have not learned through history.
Yeah.
So, and then I share channels and stuff.
Feel rough out there, but also we have to remember it's a balance. We did not come to Earth to be human, to be on easy street. Right? You know what I mean?
Right. No, I know what you mean.
It's a hard little school we're in. And so everything cannot be love and light. We wouldn't come because we wouldn't learn all the things. So keep that in mind, you guys, when you're starting to be like, what the hell is going on out here? You know what I mean? What is happening? Try to stay aligned, stay on your own path with that, whatever that feels like for you.
Yes.
Living authentically. That's the best thing we can do, I think, to keep the collective vibe high enough, right?
So, and not everybody has. I just wrote an article on this and I posted it all over the webs yesterday, is that discomfort is our guide that something is wrong. It's not that we're doing it wrong, but if we're uncomfortable, then something within us isn't right. And not everybody is meant to be a harbinger of love and light. Some of us are here to be on the front lines, pardon my language, fuck shit up, be disruptors, create chaos and havoc for the betterment of all. So everybody has a role and you have to be okay with that role. The hard part is not judging people for saying
their role,
right? For living their role just because it doesn't align with your ideologies or because it doesn't support your comfort, right? It's a huge evolutionary time right now where, the focus is the consciousness expansion. That's what it is. How do you expand your consciousness while experiencing all of this other stuff going on? So it's a crazy time. It's a cool time, but it's not easy, like you said.
And that's why I think learning your own numerology, astrology, how you were designed, kind of getting to that what, when, why purpose helps you stay on your aligned path, whatever that is.
It does.
Right?
It really does.
And helps you keep your vibe high enough. Because like you said, everyone isn't meant to be on those front lines either.
Everybody is meant, right? Yeah.
Right?
I'm not a protester. I don't protest. I'm not going out there. It's too cold.
And some people are just like turning the news off because it's too much, right?
Yep.
And we also have to remember, and this is a hard one for me sometimes, is remembering that also some people's role, like what I've been shown too, is some people's role is to be that asshole.
The disruptor.
Yeah. And that may have been their role and their purpose coming here. And sometimes it's hard to think like, really? Like the universe just planned for, you know what I mean? In a way, it is because that's part of the learning and we can't have change without disruption. Or anything else.
And we have free will too, right? So that disruptor has the choice. Do I disrupt in a positively creative way or a negatively creative way? Regardless, it's creation. They're creating something. They're creating experiences. So it is very difficult to break it down. And I never elevate people who oppress or play, whether they're civil liberty infractions or inhumanities. I never, ever spiritually elevate those people. However, their role is their own choice. And so, what can you do? You can't, free will, you can't control anything, but you do have to, stay focused on your own path.
Yeah.
During that chaos.
We cannot change others. We can only change ourselves and what we're doing and moving forward and allow that ripple effect to go out, right? That energy to ripple out and hopefully help everybody else raise up a little bit higher. Do you think that part of this, we talked a little bit about AI. Do you think that open contact communication is coming?
Oh, my God, I hope so. Like, don't threaten me with a good time.
It's kind of mass awakening. It feels, because you see a lot of people who channel different things and that saying we're very close to some kind of open contact happening. Because I believe people know, right?
They're already here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
a
have
thing.
been for millennia.
But when, I don't know, I feel like the AI thing is making people even more open. I don't know, to be more ready. And when I say open contact, you guys, if you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Aliens, right?
Yeah, alien
Other
contact.
other beings making themselves more known to us, right? In more obvious ways, because some people are already believers. Some people are like, that's crazy. Humans are the only ones. Wherever you're at on the spectrum, because it's a big spectrum. But I feel like a lot of people's eyes are going to be opened with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And I hope that it happens in my lifetime. And I hope that they're friendly. And I hope that they are, gracious and magnanimous and all those things, right? But if they're like, you all have created really a mess, and then they just blast us all into infinity. I mean, we're spiritual beings. We're made of energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. Anyway. No. And so we just right? We find some other planet to inhabit, third dimensional. Think about it this way. We are one universe, and our NASA, every day they're like, we found another planet, we found another star system, we found another, right? It's infinite. When we look up at the sky, it's absolutely infinite. And if it is as vast as we can imagine, there is no freaking way that we are the only inhabitants of, a carbon-based Earth. There's just no way. So
no. And I think that's just a little bit how humans were made, because even if you're opening your brain to, of course there's other species, there's other stuff going on in the universe. I think we also think we're the smartest, which makes zero sense. Because
we
look
clearly
at us.
are not.
Look at us.
Right?
Like clearly higher intelligence.
Right.
And I always go back to that's how those damn pyramids were made. I did
the pyramids. It is the pyramids.
I felt the energy there. And if it wasn't the aliens, we were at least at a higher state of open intellect when we were doing that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, anytime I open up the Akashic Records and I ask about, the why are we here? Why do I have to do this? Right. It literally is that this is the only planet in this solar system that supports. There's two things that come up: free will, right? Like choice, but choice is also tied to physical manifestations. Basically, thoughts are energy, thoughts and energy into matter type of thing, right? So physical manifestation is another thing that Earth is specifically designed to help us understand and teach that our thoughts create our experiences, our choices create our experiences. So I don't know.
That's one of the big lessons we're here for, you're saying.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we're figuring out.
Through duality. Okay. Earth supports duality. Choice. And choice is the creator of our experiences. So that's how I would break it down as the most basic.
Perfect. So when you dive into I don't know if anybody else is thinking this, but I'm just wondering, as you're talking about getting into the Akashic Records. So when you drop into the Akashic, do you have like a librarian or someone you meet up with?
I love that. Okay, so
I've been trying to access my Akashic Records, and someone will say, you have an Akashic Records keeper. I don't know. Yeah. Should I be visualizing a little librarian?
Yeah. No, I don't. No. Yeah.
Okay, now, where do you go in there?
Okay. So I teach a modernized version of the Akashic Records because there are a lot of OGs out there. There are a lot of traditionalists. God bless them. They are the bomb, but it doesn't jive with me. It never has. So I've always asked to be shown more. So Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means etheric, right? Ether, air, space, all of that. Well, we as humans have what's called an etheric field. It's also called our aura, whatever you want to call it. So if the Akasha stands for ether and we as humans have an etheric field, then what I teach my students to look at the Akashic Records not as a library in the sky, but as our cloud storage. And our memories, our past lives, our consciousness, everything that we are, it surrounds us. It's our aura. It's our ether. Okay. So that's why we go inward. When you access the Akashic Records, you go inward. You go into meditation. You have to be in the alpha state in order to go deeper and deeper. So if that's the case, man, how powerful are you? How powerful and all-knowing are you? You are, what I like to say, you are 25% of your higher self. Your higher self is your soul, right? When your soul is attached to source. So you are your own source. So your soul said, I need to know what it's like to be a podcaster. And your soul said, so it's sort of like it picked, like plucked a hair out of its head, and that's 25% of its essence, and put it in this little baby, right? Who came to Earth and was born. And here you are having the experience. Those experiences feed up into, number one, your higher self. And number two, the greater good. And if you really want to get multidimensional about it, you might be living multiple lives.
Because I was going to say, well, if 25% is in Jen right now.
Or there could be thousands more gens, because maybe it's just 1%. I don't know. I was just, estimating.
I think it's a number. Like it's a,
Okay, so there's 2 books that I want to recommend to anybody who wants to know more about this. The first one is called A Radical Approach to the Akashic Records. That's a phenomenal book. And it really does approach the Akashic Records from a more modern perspective. And the other one is O.G. Wayne Dyer, right? He passed over. It's called The Art of Intention. But oh my God, that book is, it's like a handbook to using the intentional field in order to create your own experiences, in order to manifest, in order to be what's called a connector, or live from the end, where it's like we live as humans. We already know that we're going to experience, because recently I was looking for a new car, right? And so I'm like, I'm going to live from the end. So every day I would visualize myself in this car, in my driveway, warming it up and pulling it out within it was like 2 weeks or whatever. As soon as I said, okay, I'm going to make an appointment to go into the dealership, boom, there it was.
What year are you in personally right now?
I am in a personal year 9, change and transformation. Yes. Within a 1 year. So it's very exciting. And then January for me, remember when you asked about the months, if we start off as a 1?
Yeah.
So for me, January was a personal month 1. So until I get to October, I'm going to go through a 9-month cycle, which is really interesting, because when I look up at my 2026 forecast, here I see choose, listen, potential, endurance, inspiration, bliss, prepare, trust, and then release. And release is my 1 month. And then that moves me into my 9 months.
Okay. So for you then, when you get to September, because January is 1 for you, so when you get to September, that's a 9.
So in September, I have a personal month 9, and my card is the 10 of Wands. And that, in a personal month 9, change and transformation, the card that I got to support that is one of release. Let the universe help you. And so then in October, I move into a personal month 1, and the card that I got was abundance. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little confusing.
All right, don't get scared, everybody. Don't get scared because you're hearing all these numbers thrown out.
No,
it's really more simple than you think, because plug this stuff in.
Yeah.
This is why we have the apps and the AI, huh? No.
Yes. I mean, they're kind of taking my job. So plug it in, try to figure it out. And if you can't, you can book a reading.
Well, the thing is, you're going to plug things in and find out what month or what year you're in, but you're not going to get the full understanding of what that means for you personally.
No, even I
don't.
don't.
Human design within your life.
Yep.
That's where we need help.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, and even I don't. I have to really look it over. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. You don't just willy-nilly when someone signs up. You've got homework before people even get on with you. You are writing a report.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Back to school when you got to get a report ready for class. You have to do that every time before you meet with someone. Yeah. And then tap in intuitively when they're in front of you.
Yes. I pull their numerology, I pull their astrology, their human design, I open up their Akashic record, and then that prepares me for when we connect online. I don't do tetralogies in person because it's too much, and I like to record them.
Yes.
So that the person can have them to look it
face
over.
Face to face, like Zoom or whatever. So you're
Zoom face to face.
You're just getting their vibe. Yeah.
Yep.
Whether it's through their voice or whatever. And then you're tapping them from there. Are you doing anything new? What do you got going on, girl?
This is exciting, right? So
I know. What's coming up for you?
Well, when I moved back to Michigan, I decided that I did not want to continue as a spiritual practitioner in the sense that I have been. So I have 2 things that I'm really focusing on. So I have something called the Mystic Metal subscription, and every year it's a monthly earring subscription box. I'm a silversmith, metalsmith. I make intuitively designed jewelry using your tetralogy, all of that stuff.
I have some of her pieces, you guys. She's good.
Yes, I love it. I love being a metalsmith.
Okay, so wait, we're getting a pair of earrings a month.
A pair of earrings a month. It's only $31 plus $7 shipping, so it's $38 a month. But it comes with really cool stuff. So they're artisan earrings. I'm not going to just put a bunch of bullshit together and give it to you. Like, I'm literally sawing and firing and soldering and doing all of the things to make. No, no, these are handmade artisan earrings.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
You get, oh my gosh, you get the metal properties, you get a little numerology, astrology with it. Sometimes I'll throw in like a free gift, and there's some other things. So you actually get, you get an activation to say when you put them on to activate the energy of the metaphysical properties within the metal. So that's something that I'm doing.
All right.
And then the other thing is that my housemate and I, it just worked out that when I was coming back, she was actually leaving a relationship. And so we said, well, let's roommate together, right? Save money, all that stuff. And so we are starting an organization called Crafted. And Crafted is going to be a space where you can go and you will be taught crafty things, arts, using kits, right? So for instance, I'm going to teach people how to make jewelry. Like my first class is called ear wires. I'm going to teach you how to make handmade, really cool ear wires, not so you don't have to just buy those, you know. I'm going to teach people how to make purses, like legitimate purses. And you're going to walk in, you're going to sit down, you're going to have all these pieces of leather already cut out in front of you. You're going to put them together, sew them. You're going to stamp your name on it because you're the designer. And you're going to walk away with a purse that you might walk out of, I don't know, Macy's with. And then what this is, it's a like a pre-maker space. We're going to introduce you to all of the different maker categories out there. We're going to have upcycling. She's going to have a class where you bring 5 pieces of your wardrobe that you don't wear anymore. And then she's going to show you how to tear them apart and put them back together into something that you love.
Okay. So a lot of this feels like a good year for all this because that creativity energy.
It's all about creativity. Right? Yeah.
And if you're thinking, I don't really care about making a purse. No, it's not about that. It's about creatively getting in your right brain, letting your energy and vibe flow, like to be creatively doing something new.
Yes, right? And we're going to use that creativity for those that are interested in it to set intentions, manifest. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to bring in some of the woo, but I'm going to make it universally appealing, right? For people that are like, I don't get into the woo, right? Well, we're not summoning demons. We're just tapping into our intuition.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that there's no like big witch pot with frog feet going in. No.
None of that,
you know. Fun crafts.
Yes, we're doing like legitimate crafts, like maker
with
crafts
an intention behind it.
Yeah. There's an intention. Yep. You know, and then we'll have kits that we'll have for sale so people can do this that come with YouTube videos so people can do this. You know, if you live in the West Coast.
In close to you, or can we get the kit and watch, be a part of a video or online community, or I'm sure it'll grow. It'll turn into things for sure.
Yeah,
probably right around July,
exciting.
I'm thinking.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping. I'm looking at this, legitimately looking at this going, now, how does this all work out for Crafted?
Right.
Yeah.
Crafted.
So
I like it.
That's what's going on. But in the meantime, I'm still doing readings.
I love when someone will send me a kit and there's everything I need to get crafty. Right? I don't feel overwhelmed at the store. Like, what all do I need to make a purse? If you send me it in a kit, I'm like, oh, yes.
Right.
Like, I can do this. I can do this.
Yes. And there will be a YouTube video that you can watch to see how it's done specifically. And so it's a fun
things going on.
Yeah.
Are you still doing astrology though?
Oh yes. I'm still, you know, offering psychic medium, Akashic readings, soul contracts, business soul contracts. Entrepreneurs, if you are out there and you own a business and your business is not jiving with you, book a business Akashic reading. I don't understand why people don't book these things. They are amazing.
Because they're best for who? If you've started your own business, like you're doing your thing, but something's not jiving, something doesn't feel aligned, right? You don't feel fully satisfied in your career, whatever it is right now. So they're going to come to you and you're going to what? You're going to tap into their Akashic and see where they got off path or what?
So it's not just entrepreneurs, but I love that because you have a birthday, obviously, but anything that you create has a birthday. So let's say you start this podcast and say this podcast all of a sudden starts to feel heavy or whatever. So I would take your birthday, I would run your numerology. So it's a synastry report. And then I would take the birthday of your podcast, its full name, and then I would create a numerology for that. And then that's where the synastry comes in. I open up the Akashic record and I say, where do they work together? Where do they, because your business is an expression of you, but it has its own Akashic record. So we're going to look at that and see where it works together, where you can capitalize on that and where it maybe needs some tweaking, because your business is never not, how do I say this? In synastry with you, it's simply you have to give each other what each other needs. And that's going to be found in your core chart or your karmic debt, your karmic lessons, how you express yourself, some of those other numbers that we find in a full numerology report.
Someone listening right now is thinking about starting a business.
It's even better.
Year one. So you don't have a birth date for it yet. What do you put in for the business then?
I would put in, what name are you thinking, right? We'll put that in. I just had somebody that did this the other day. What name are you thinking? And then what is your goal date for this, right? And they're like, well,
that's
I would
the date you would use to see how things would line up.
Yes. And it's not just a business either. If it's your current job, right? What's the name of your business and what was your original hire date? Relationships. It's the same thing with relationships. That's how I do soul contracts between two people, right? It could be any area of your life where you feel like you're not in sync, and I just need a name and some type of date.
A date that resonates with that.
That resonates with it.
Going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, when did the relationship start? Whether that's the first time you went on a date or the first time or your marriage. I don't know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can just do that. Okay.
They're so fun. They're a fun reading, and they're very, very helpful and ridiculously intuitive. I did the first one on a whim. I was like, well, does my studio have a birthday? Let's see. And I plugged it in on my own business, and I was like, what? This is crazy. It was cool.
It was cool. Yeah. Because did things line up the way they happened?
And that's why I was like, this can't be, right? And so then I started, I said, hey, friend who have a business, I'm trying out this new reading. I need some test subjects. Would you be open? Of course, nobody turns down a reading.
Right. Yeah, girl. Let me give you a send info. Right. If you're in a phase of like spiritual awakening right now, where you are at that point where you want to start the thing, right? Yep. You've done some work. We've talked about this, but, this is a really good intuitive way to make sure you're on track. And if you're a planner,
yes,
like you like to kind of plan things out.
Yes.
This is good for that planning phase. That's what it feels like.
It's so good for it. Yes. Yes.
This is the timeline for you.
Can I talk about one more thing?
Of course.
Okay. So the other thing that I'm doing, because my human design, I'm a manifesting generator. And so for all of the man gens out there, you all know you need a couple different things to move back and forth between, right? Mm-hmm. That's what keeps your energy focused and creative. So the other thing that I'm doing, and this is literally, I love this. This is what fills my soul, and it's mentoring. So I have a 6-week program or a 6-session program, and then I have a 12-session program. Well, I found that people don't need 12 sessions because I call in working with people that are ready for the next level. Beginners, there are so many other mentors out there that can serve you as a beginner. I'm more about people like yourself, right? You have a great deal of consciousness and knowledge, but you're ready to really
level it up. Yeah.
Level it up, right?
Yeah.
Level it up. That's what we'll call it.
There you go. Level up.
Ready to level up. So that's who I call in. And I found that those people don't need 12 sessions. You've already got this. So I offer a 6-session option, which is less money. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, I don't just, what clairs do you use? We look at the soul origins. We look at rewiring your current beliefs so that you're actually in the type of energy with your thoughts where you can amplify and move to those higher levels. So we do 12D activations. We do some energy work. I teach you the Akashic Records always, first things first. And then we move into channeling and we move into those higher level intuitive abilities, because this is how you master intuitive self-leadership. Mm-hmm. Right?
And get to that true authenticity.
Exactly. So
that.
Those are the 3 things that I'm working on right now, but the one that lights me up the most right now is absolutely the mentoring. So I'm calling in my people.
Is this a group gig?
Nope, it's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one because I meet you where you're at, because not everybody is at the same level.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes in a class, everyone's at a different spot.
Yep.
So you're either feeling held back or pushed too hard.
Yes, exactly. So we eliminate all of that, and I'm like, let's figure out where you are.
Typically, probably once a week. That's why you're saying 6 week.
once a week. Some of them I'll be, let's give us 2 weeks. Like after I teach you the Akashic Records, I'm like, all right, now I want you to practice for 2 weeks and we'll meet back in 2
give me a
weeks.
minute. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Or
Okay.
channeling, that sort of thing. So, and I give homework, you know.
Oh, that sounds good.
Read
okay,
for
somebody
friends.
listening. You guys listening. There's someone out there who's like, I've been looking for someone to help me up my game this year in my fire horse year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Advance.
This
is the year to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a personal year 7, holy moly, it's the year to, you will notice just after a couple sessions a visible difference in your ability to tap into your and manage your intuitive capabilities.
Okay, you guys, so find your number. And if you're a 7 this year,
that's
exciting
a big one.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Exciting. Okay. You might be needing to level up if you're a 7 year during a 1 universal year. And the fire horse. Damn, girl, you can get some shit done.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
I'm excited for you, whoever you are, because this is me.
I know.
I'm excited for you.
Yes. Yeah, I have like 4 or 5 people that ordered a 2026 forecast, and I'm like, whoa, huge years for you guys.
Oh gosh. And again, I'm going to put all the links in here, you guys, but
I'll just get their information. I'll pull the forecast, but then we review it live over Zoom, because when I was getting a ton of them, I just emailed them, and it's just not the same, because you need the benefit of the intuitive to give you even more that's on the page.
Yes,
so,
you need to link up personally then at the end so that you can intuitively explain. And that way, if you have a couple questions, you can ask them.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. You might want to come through Joe and tell you a couple things about Joe.
Right. See what you got going on.
I know. And now I have to end. Okay, well, we're gonna need to book that before we get off today, Joe, because I got to figure out my damn year now.
Right. Oh my God. And with you in a 3-year, in a 1 universal year, seriously, there's something
3
changing.
and 1. That's something to get excited about. I feel like no matter what number are you guys, there's something to get excited about.
There's something to get excited
work
about.
To do this year, no matter what.
Yes.
But that's gonna be good. And I'm a manifester, so I cycle through things. I've got to be excited by shit to keep going.
Yes. Yeah. And I think when you get excited about stuff, that's when you're aligned, right? You're like, oh man, this lights me up.
Yes.
So
okay. I like all of these things. We got a lot going on this year, you guys. I know you're all out there feeling it.
There is a lot. Let's
keep our vibes high, though, everybody. The bottom line is, let's stay authentic. Let's stay on our path, whatever that means for you. Maybe you are called to be on the front lines, right? And you're going to go get them this year. But maybe you're not. Maybe you just need to stay authentically yourself and keep your vibe high.
Yep.
And ripple it out to the collective, right? Yes. That could be your job, and that could be your only job.
Yes.
I think it is for most of us. Just be authentic, right? Do your thing, girl. So, and this is going to be a good year. I can feel it, right?
I think so too.
Like, keep the news off, turn the TV off, and it'll feel like a really great year the whole time.
Right. Stay informed somehow, so you know what's going on. Stay informed.
But if you're not on the front lines, you don't have to be obsessed.
Nope.
Because
oh my God,
for me, it will bring my vibe way down.
Yeah.
Into negativity.
Yeah. And even if you are, do need to stay daily aware, it's about using your discernment. Does this impact me? Does this affect me or those around me? You'll know. People will know when it's time to step
what you're
in
meant to be called forward for.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Everybody's got their thing. We can't all have the same fight on our hands, right? We all have our own fight on our hands.
No, right?
And
we have our own way of participating in the collectives.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, we got big things this year. Thanks for helping us start to understand it a little bit better, because I know a lot of people are hearing all these little catchphrases, fire horse, year 1, all this stuff. And I was like, what does that all mean?
What does it all mean?
Yeah. And the astrology is the hardest part to grasp, I think, of all of it. So, go with the numerology and stuff first, because the transits are a little harder to figure out.
Yeah. I don't even know transits. I look to others for that. I say, what do these mean?
The big transit moments, like what's going on? Because that's a whole thing you can dive into for your personal self too.
100%.
Like where the planets are lining up for you and the universe. There's a lot going on. But it is all energy, and it does all matter. It does all have meaning when you start feeling called to it, right? If you don't feel pulled in that direction right now to go down that rabbit hole, then don't. But move on. But it's easy enough to do this, what number year you're in, and then get like a whole year prediction from Joe. And then you'll know things.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, thanks for catching us back up on everything. I'm excited for all the stuff you have going on. It all sounds amazing. These earrings are exciting even.
It's very exciting. It's fun. It's fun. I did a sneak peek of the pair that's coming out in March, and I'm really proud of them. They're so cool. I love them. I'm like, I got to make a pair for myself too.
I know. Gosh, you guys better get signed up, because if she gets too many, she's going to have to put a stop to it. Girl can only make so many.
Yeah, it is capped.
So get under the cap, because like it feels like one girl can only make so many pairs of earrings. So it feels like we should get in on this.
Yep. The 15th of any month is the cutoff. If you don't sign up, you'll still a part of it, but you won't get you won't get that much shipment, or the coming months. You'll get the month after that.
Okay. All right. So get in there.
Get in
All
there.
right. Well, all the links are in the show notes, you guys. So you can find everything we've been talking about. I'm even going to try and throw in the links to these books you just mentioned that we all need to be reading.
I will. I mean, I'll send all the.
Make it easy on us girls. We just want to click and go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, thank you, Joe. Feel free to come back and update us whenever anything fun and new goes down.
I absolutely will. Yay. That's a
thanks, girl.
standing invitation. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. See you later. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now, I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out, because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. You know, the legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.